The number of people, integration, the number of stores, the number of vehicles. Everybody's not a farmer. The occupations, all those things have changed tremendously. Most of us were farmers out here, and farmers help farmers. But now, transportation, the county's gotten smaller, not in land area, but because of the transportation system, you can travel faster. Telephones. We didn't have telephones when we were young. We didn't get a telephone until I was in about the, I guess, 4th or 5th grade. I don't know. You remember what year we got telephone? We got one in King George, Dahlgren, before we came back. What year we come back?
53.
Came back in 53. So we got a telephone about a year before that. I used to pull some tricks on my sister, though. You know, funerals were a big thing. And we were going at a funeral. And my dad, for me, I could not talk back to my sister. She had everything except spanking rights. But she might as well have had them, because if she told Dad something, I got spanked. Just no doubt about it. She was always right, never wrong. But I love her, and I don't have no animosity toward her because she was fair. And my Aunt B, she was the same way. But anyway, we were at this funeral. And Mama and my dad went into a different area, and they put us into a pew and told us to stay there and not to get away from Gladys. Well, I can't remember what happened, but the funeral was over with everybody walking out, and I wanted to see some kids that I knew or something, and Gladys wouldn't let me out the pew. So I decided to go around the other end and come back through the next pew, because there was a fella there, he was a midget, and he had a suit on just like mine. And so I moved on down, and he started out, and Gladys, all she saw was that suit, and she gonna stop me and grab me. She grabbed that fellow right by the ear. And he started screaming. This guy, he was a fellow that my mom knew well, gone to school with, and what have you. I got free. You remember that, Frank? Yeah. But it was, you know, we didn't do things. Some things we did were extreme, but oh yeah, I did that too. I used to love, see, everything we did was with wood. And every morning, somebody had to make a fire around 4 o'clock in order to get breakfast done, even to heat the house. I mean, we covered up in blankets and what have you, and we'd bank the fire at night, and you'd see folks making fire. And to me, making the fire was a very attractive thing. I built fires everywhere. I'd go down in the woods and build fires. And I got whipped 3 or 4 times for doing it. But the last time, again, look at Daddy came home about 3:30. I just built a big fire down in the woods. It took Dad and 2 or 3 other people probably a couple of hours, because the fire was still burning. They were just putting it out when you guys came home from school. Yeah. So I was a pyromaniac. So what?
I got whipped for it.
Yeah. Sherman was down there with me. Sherman had nothing to do with building that fire, but he did get whipped for it. Well, I got whipped too now. We all, Daddy saw the situation, and he did the corrections, and then asked questions afterwards. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you another story. On the farm, I don't know how B got, this is my Aunt Beatrice there. I don't know how she got this rooster. But this rooster was the biggest rooster I've ever seen. Maybe because I was so small. He was a big gray rooster. And some kind of way, this was B's pet rooster. Now, we would butcher chickens and everything, and I tried to get him. That rooster, he never bothered. Well, I must tell you this, and this could have been something that had something to do with, I was born with club feet, and I had cast on him, so I kind of walked a little funny and different. That rooster never bothered nobody. But all I had to do was walk in that yard. That rooster would jump up behind me and knock me down. Now, I can't remember when that rooster didn't exist. But anyway, B would always say I was teasing that rooster. I wasn't teasing that rooster, but one time I did hit him upside the head and knock him out. But he recovered. I thought I had him, but he recovered. B caught me there. I got whipped for that. She caught me that day. But anyway, the rooster, he tumbled over, he came to himself and got straight. See, he always did. But one day, it was like 1944. Daddy was in the military. Mama drove down to my grandfather's. And I used to, when I got out at my grandfather's house, I'd look around for that rooster. But this day, I didn't even think about that rooster. My grandfather was sitting on the porch smoking his pipe. And all at once, that rooster came from somewhere. He hit me in the back without me even seeing him. Knocked me flat. My grandfather came out, got me. He said, "Don't worry, son. I'm going to take care of him Saturday." That rooster disappeared. B still doesn't know what happened. But I wanted to make him a pie. No, we didn't have him for dinner. Because Grandpa, he couldn't kill him and butcher him at the house because B would pitch a fit. See, my sister and B, they never got spanked. To my knowledge. You know anything about him getting spanked, Frank? No. In fact, one day, my daddy said he was going to spank my sister. My grandfather came home and told me he wasn't going to do it. He told him, said, "Frank," that was my dad's name. He says, "I'm going to tell you something. I could whip you when you were 21, and I can do it now. You're not going to mess." And that was for letting her ride on the running board of the car. So we had to go through this big farm. And this farm, I guess we had a half a mile to travel through it before we got to where my grandfather lived. And you had gates. And if you left the gates unlocked, you had to open the gate, go through it, and then lock it back, close it, and you had to put the chain over the post, otherwise the cows would get out. So with us, Frank and I, we could ride on the running board. In my grandfather's opinion, girls were not allowed to ride on the running board. Remember that, Frank? Yeah, and so Gladys wanted to ride on the running board like we did, and Daddy let her do it. And that's what caused the whole thing. He said, "Don't you let that girl ride on that running board. Let them boys ride on the running board." That was okay. But girls couldn't ride on the running board. You know.
And I don't know why. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I do know that when Grandpa came over there that day, and he did say, "I could whip you when you were 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the other statement that he made that I didn't like, he said, "Frank, you can beat them boys all you want." Yeah, he made that statement. He made that
Yeah.
Don't touch that girl.
Yeah, don't touch her.
You can beat them boys.
Yeah. So they did. Yeah. Well, yeah.